All right. So I was reading the Bible the other day.
Great start.
Yeah.
Great start. I mean, you're working on your 12 books a year, baby.
Yeah. And
That's one of his 12.
Something I was thinking about is how funny would it be if God and Jesus didn't talk while Jesus was on earth? And like God just like kind of like a Rumspringer, like he just sent him off and he was like, all right, go spread my word. Go get some people to join us. Have fun out there.
And tell me about it when you get back.
Yeah. And then he comes back as a 33-year-old. He's like, hey, what happened down there? And they fucking killed me. Your people killed me so hard. Like,
and he's like, I thought this was your plan. He's like, no, I didn't want you to die. No, you're my only son.
He's like, well, how many people did you convert? He's like, 12. 12?
Yeah,
and they killed you for 12? Yeah, one betrayed me and one was a prostitute. Like, what are you doing down there?
I washed a lot of feet. I did some miracles.
What kind of miracles did you do?
I turned water into wine.
You can fly. Why?
I guess I broke bread for everybody.
What? You broke bread?
I don't know.
Like how much bread?
Just one loaf, but I fed a community with it.
How big was the community?
I don't know, a village.
And were they starving already? So they probably didn't even need much more bread.
No, but I did it. I broke it.
Did you help people down there?
I think so. There was a blind guy. I made him see. I did a little bit of carpentry.
Why the fuck did you make I made that man blind for a goddamn reason.
I thought I was supposed to do things.
No.
I was helping people. There was a guy that couldn't walk and made him walk.
I made it so he couldn't walk. No wonder they killed you. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Dad? That's such a good bit, dude. Dude, that's actually really wild to think about. Yeah, because there is so much that happens. And like, I just had a few days ago, I had like a really long talk with my grandpa about religion.
Sure.
Where he's like, is Jesus in your life? And I always just lie straight to his face.
Yes.
And I go, yes. And he goes, do you believe? And I go, yes. And he goes, well, you got to do more than just believe.
No, you don't.
He's like, you gotta act like it.
No, all you have to do is ask for forgiveness at the very end and you're solid.
I don't know.
That's it.
But he told me about like, right before Jesus died, he like went in the forest and talked to his dad and it's like, did you really talk to him? Or did he just sit alone and acted like he was being righteous?
Also, because the reason I
could talk telepathically, is that?
Well, technically can't we all? And that's the point. Except for Catholics, we have to go through a priest.
Yeah, and talk through like that graded thing.
Yeah.
I love how this is starting off with religion.
Well, it's because one of the 12 books I read was just called God, and it's about how like God evolved with humans.
This was in the Bible?
No.
Oh, the chapter was called God. It's about his creation. Who created God?
Like it was really interesting because it talked about how like the Greek gods, they made them very human, but then they became way too human where then you couldn't like take them seriously because they were having like marital issues and like they were cheating on like all that kind of stuff.
That's human life.
It felt like a drama, like where it was like too much. And then when the God now came apart, it was just like, oh, it is so much bigger and like nothing else can exist besides it. And it's just super interesting, like the change of dynamics of humans with their God.
Yeah. I mean, because it does change people. Mm-hmm. And I think overall,
it changes with culture.
Overall, I think for the best. But there is, you know what I mean? Overall for the best, but obviously,
but person by person, like
religion
we did a lot
causes
of
war,
and a lot of them back then, and that that's super interesting.
That's why you brought it up earlier, like how they killed Jesus because of it, and also they're killing people if they believed in Jesus.
Yes,
that doesn't make it's so wild to me. Like, how is that? So a whole religion is being started about loving people, but then it was started in murder and massacre.
Yes.
And then we still have to be like, well, too bad. Well, you got to believe or else. And also, dude, it's still happening today. Yeah. Like in certain countries, if you believe, you go to jail for like your entire life or you get killed.
Just immediately, yeah.
No, I'd go, no thanks. Not gonna. Why would you risk that?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's part of the Bible is he says like, don't say you don't believe in me. Or
oh my God.
Yeah, like that's part of it is he goes to all of them.
So you suffered the entire life
will betray
for
me.
A hope that it's real?
That's what faith is. That's the whole thing. It's like when you pick apart like the Bible and you're like, that doesn't really make sense. The only answer is like, well, faith.
All I know is rock gotta have faith. That's Limp Bizkit covered faith.
Okay.
by George Michael.
I know George Michael's version.
And they go, rock, gotta have faith. He says rock for some reason. I don't know if he actually says rock, but it sounds like he is. So I always say rock,
God,
gotta have faith.
One of the worst bands to exist.
No, I love Limp Bizkit.
I hate them so much.
I love how we're talking about Limp Bizkit and religion.
Yeah.
It's perfect, dude. It's a perfect marriage.
Because also another really interesting thing about that this book talked about is how is Christianity not polytheistic?
What does that word mean?
Multiple gods.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. But they say that
it's one, 3 in 1.
but it's not.
But it's not.
And I'm so when he said that, I was like, oh, I never thought about that. That when a Christian goes to heaven, they meet God and they meet Jesus.
But then who's
Who's
the Holy Ghost?
I have no fucking clue.
Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. What's the Holy Spirit? And like in Catholic, they call it the Holy Ghost, right?
Probably sometimes.
Yeah. What is that?
Also, like, how often does the only time I know the Holy Ghost showed up is when he made it so everyone could speak the same language.
Oh, really?
Like everyone had a little flame above their head or something weird like that. I don't know.
Sounds like a Nintendo game.
I think it is.
Oh, you're talking about Pikmin?
But like, I don't understand how it's not polytheistic.
Yeah.
Because you can pray to Jesus.
But then it's a rule to
There's one God.
only worship one God.
But there's God and Jesus. Holy Spirit, I don't know.
That's something.
Yeah, but get rid of that.
It's the Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
They say that all the time. You know, it's like the three. It's the Trinity.
But
like,
it's one
But
God.
it's one. But then also like when there's markings of three, like in ghost things,
I mean,
they're
like,
like that's the Trinity.
I guess like if you
Wouldn't
eat,
it be a marking of one?
like if I eat Rocky Road ice cream, I'm eating one ice cream, but it's got marshmallows in it.
And chocolate. Mm-hmm. That's 30
And we all
things.
know which one Jesus is.
The
3,
marsh?
2. Oh, no, you went marsh. I was going to do a countdown. I was going to say chocolate.
You think Jesus is chocolate?
Of
Rocky Road ice cream. You think he's the chocolate?
yes. Or
I think he's the marshmallow.
that might be fair because marshmallow is what makes it Rocky Road. A lot
And then God is the
ice cream,
The
I
ice
think.
cream.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Holy Ghost is chocolate syrup.
because it can go anywhere.
Yeah. And it's a liquid form, but also a hard form. It can be any form, dude.
I think it's gaseous. I would guess.
Gaseous clay, dude. Nice.
What?
Gaseous clay. You've ever heard of him?
No?
I think that's somebody or something. I think it's a pun on a famous boxer's name. Cassius Clay.
I've heard of, that sounds right.
I think it's a pun of that.
If he was
gaseous.
if he was a ghost.
If he was really farty. Oh man, I'm 39. 1 year I'm gonna be farty. It's like 40, but really farty.
Welcome back to Moist Monday.
It's Wetember, baby. So it's getting weird again. Here we go.
Do you ever, when you prayed as a child, be like, I just want this one thing, I'll never ask for anything again? What was the dumbest thing that was your one thing? I know mine.
So I did this all the time, and I would say I will never ask for anything again.
How often did you get the thing though? Right.
This is
All right.
This is but I prayed about this multiple times.
Okay.
So let me set the scene. I'm a child. This is back in my old house, you know, where we grew up, and this was when I was young and I actually had my own bedroom.
Oh.
So I was really into Legos.
Okay.
So I had a ton of, obviously Legos are awesome. Still like them today. But like when I was a kid, Legos were fantastic. I had a shit ton of Legos. Like I would get multiple sets, but then eventually Legos get put into a tub.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So you just have a massive tub of multiple sets.
When you built a set, did you destroy it after you built it?
Yeah. And then dump it in the
bricks.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I did
and
too.
then I would have days where I would get the tub out and I would build whatever I wanted. So there would be days where I'd be looking for a certain piece,
Sure.
and I would pray to God about being like, because I'd be looking for a long time, like I'd be listening to music or something or the radio.
Lutheran?
I was Lutheran.
Okay.
So I would go, dear God, please help me find this 3-pegged L-shaped piece. And I won't ask for it again. I won't ask for it ever again. I won't ask for anything else in my life.
Yeah.
And I would do that so many times. Like,
Did you get them?
Every time I would find them eventually.
See, as a Catholic,
But like I would keep, so every time I play Legos, I would pray.
Yeah.
And I would every time say, I will never ask for anything again, but keep doing it. I did it. No joke. 15 times.
Well, eventually it was the final time. Because as a Catholic, we had our own saint for that. Not for Legos, but for lost objects, St. Anthony.
What?
Yep.
So you would pray to St. Anthony?
Yes.
So that goes back to the other gods.
No, Catholics have a fucking saint for everything.
But that's praying to other gods.
I guess.
So you pray to him and then he goes to God with it?
Yeah, he's
the middleman?
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, because if you were looking
he was for lost objects?
When you were looking for something you could not find, you go, Tony, Tony, look around. Something's lost and can't be found.
That is not a prayer.
I swear to God.
That's a children's rhyme.
And
Tony, Tony?
Yeah.
You're not praying to a guy named Tony. That's a guy in the fucking mob, dude.
And he helped you find shit. He was our finder.
Oh,
Tony Pepperoni? No, but
he's
like,
not coming in.
I remember it fucking worked too. Like you would find shit that like, and it would end up just being on a table and you're like, I swear to fucking God, I looked on that table. But all right, so I remember
it's like looking for keys, remotes.
Yeah, Tony, Tony, look around. Something's lost and can't be found. Or something's lost and must be found.
Tony, look around.
Do it next. I still do that one today.
I've never heard that before in my life, but it's catchy.
Dude, fucking Catholics.
That should be the start of a
We
song.
get after it.
So what other gods were there? Like,
saints?
Yeah.
Name a thing. Or like a saint of something. Like try and think of something.
So that's why there's a saint of lost items.
Yes.
So like there's a
he
saint.
also had like a shit ton of different
I'm trying to think, like a saint of love, probably.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Probably Saint Valentine.
Saint
right?
Valentine. Yeah, that would make sense.
Saint of love.
Saint Valentine.
Saint Valentine. Yeah.
So that kind of like goes back to like, it kind of makes me think of like Greek mythology a little bit.
Yeah, it kind of
is. It's basically a rip off of
yeah.
that, because so there's different gods.
So Saint of Lost Saint.
Saint of Lost. That's so specific.
Saint Anthony of Padua. You may or may not know that Saint Anthony of Padua is the Catholic patron saint of things lost.
I love how it's Saint Anthony, but then the prayer is
Tony.
Hey,
Tony, you help me find my keys.
What's up, Tony?
All right, like I'm trying to think of other things to look up the saint of.
Saint of love, saint of treasure. I don't know what.
Go specific.
I just think of Legos right now.
Saint of Legos. Patron saint of Legos.
Is there something?
John Baptist Lego.
What? That's a made up thing, dude. John Baptist Lego. John Baptist is a person, but I'm pretty sure his last name wasn't Lego. That's a company name.
But no, there's
there a patron saint of Nike? Like it's just patron saint of Google.
Michael Jordan.
That's really weird, dude.
No, how many saints are there? Because
can you look up a list? Like, I feel like the patron saint of lost items is at the bottom. Like that's like
that one's so useful.
I know, but like
how many?
That's at the top of
patron.
That's a weird one.
Saints are there? 10,000.
Oh my god, dude! Read them.
All right, 10 most bizarre patron saints in Catholicism.
Say, how are these not gods?
Number 10, Saint Rita, patron saint of impossible feats.
What? That's like Evel Knievel would pray to her.
Oh shit, she's my new sideshow god. Fuck.
Damn, that's the patron saint of impossible tasks.
Saint Julian, murderer turned saint.
What?
Fuck yeah.
So what do you pray to him for? If you're a killer?
Oh no, just a saint of like moral conundrums.
Dude, what? Yeah, give him the trolley fucking thing.
Saint Lidwina, the ice skater.
Saint of ice skating?
Yep.
See, these are really specific.
Yeah. Saint Elmo's fire. Wait.
Saint Elmo's fire. I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, that's a movie. God, it's too many big words. Saint Dennis. Headaches.
The saint of it. Oh, so if you have a headache, you pray to Saint Dennis?
Yeah, and Saint Dennis takes it away.
I wonder if that was the guy who introduced the Dennis system.
Wildfortis, a beard from God. I don't even know what the fuck that means.
That's who you pray to if you want a beard?
I guess. Look at you.
I didn't even pray. I was born with this, dude.
Saint Bernardino. This just labels him the marketing whiz.
So he's not a saint, he's a wizard?
Saint Lawrence, rare, medium, or well done. All right, they're getting too clever with these names.
Yeah,
I want to know what he is.
This is wild.
No, they got...
And this is all Catholic shit?
Yeah. No, fucking Catholics go hard.
I don't get it. I don't get religion,
no.
Dude. What?
It gets so wonky so fast. And everyone's just like, yep, that's how it is.
And also the fact that, like, okay, are you a Christian? Cool. But then it's like, which one are you? You know, like there's so many different versions of it.
I mean, being raised Catholic, I have a hard time respecting other Christianities because I'm like, you don't go as fucking hard
Catholics
as we
are
did.
where it's like kneel, stand, kneel, stand, kneel, stand. You're in church for 3 hours, kneel, stand.
Or like this little wafer. This is human flesh now.
Yeah.
Like it's not a symbol. This is the real fucking deal.
Yeah,
Get ready to be a goddamn cannibal up in this bitch. We're in God's house. You're eating God.
You're eating his son.
Open up.
But how is there so much of him left?
I don't. And
well,
like,
if he broke bread to feed a village, he could break himself to feed a
and like,
world.
For a lot of Catholic churches, when you get that bread, you don't even like grab it. You just stick out your tongue.
He puts it. So is it a real piece of bread?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, it's like the little wafer thing.
Oh, okay.
That like needs seasoning.
Yeah, because I've had the wafers before. I think at a church before. I don't remember where it was, but I think it was a loaf of bread.
And you just tore off
and
pieces?
it was tore off pieces, and it was actually like I was like, oh, this is good.
Yeah, that'd be much better. It's like an Olive Garden like
yeah,
serving
it was great.
basket.
And it's like right next to the pastor is your little seasoning and oil that you dip it in. No, I'm just kidding. I made that part up.
Some almond butter.
That'd be awesome.
Same with like the wine. You drank it all from the same goblet or chalice.
Yeah.
And
So as a Lutheran, it would come in shot glasses, and it would
so fucking lame.
But what was cool is it would come in. So during like COVID, they switched over to plastic, obviously, because they could recycle them.
Oh, I wonder what Catholics did during COVID.
But they did. It came in like this cool, like golden circle thing where you took the lid off and there were all individual holes and the cups would be in that. And then when that one was empty, they would lift up that layer and there'd be another one full. It was a cool presentation.
Yeah, but like it's not old. It's like they definitely just 3D printed a fucking bunch of little cups.
I mean, it's
like,
real metal or whatever.
Sure, but it's still like plastic cup. Like
yeah,
because they kind of look like the jelly things at IHOP, right? Like the little with the little like.
Well, they didn't have
lids.
the lids on them.
No, okay.
No, these were like real.
Because the last time I went to
cups.
church, it had like those little like.
No, yeah,
lids.
I think now. Since COVID, they went over to the plastic. They don't have. I've never done one with lids.
Okay, because
it's all been freshly poured. I've done the chalice once, and that is so weird because you just pass it, and that's disgusting.
No, because
that's so nasty.
Our priest, like he would tip it up to your lip.
Oh,
and then,
so you wouldn't even.
No. And then he'd do a little wipe, and then the next person, but like you're not getting the fucking spit out of there.
Oh God. Yeah, the last one just gets backwash. Yeah. See, I did it at youth group one time, and there was a chalice. And I think it was real wine, which is always cool because you're like, oh, I'm underage drinking.
Well, that's that's all I did was wine.
And but like it was a small chalice, and you would take a sip, and then you would pass it to the next person, and then they would drink on their own.
That's so weird.
It's so weird when they feed you.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they put the thing in your mouth, or make you drink.
No, there's
like
a lot of issues.
I don't.
Priests just putting shit in your mouth.
I remember. So I've always been a Lutheran, and I grew up. It was only my grandparents' church. I remember this. So like for communion. Mm-hmm. Communion was cool because you could stretch your legs.
Sure.
You know, because it was after the sermon.
Well, Catholics stretch their legs a lot.
Yeah. But what's cool is, they did this during like songs and stuff, is there was like the kneeler. I think Catholics have that. So at my grandparents' Lutheran church, they had the kneeler in every aisle.
Weird.
But then when you go up for communion, you would go up as an aisle, and then you'd all line up at the railing and kneel. And then the pastor would go down the line
Cool.
and feed you.
Yeah.
But
imagine if you just like poured it in your mouth.
Yeah. Shots. That'd be sick. And that was so cool because you would kneel up there, put your hands out, asking for it.
So cool.
But
please, Father,
feed me.
I'm hungry.
But like at the church that I used to go to, you go up and you're just in a line, and he's at the front, and you just give it to him, and then you walk off.
Yep.
But I like the idea of kneeling. I don't know. I just think it's more, I don't know what the word I'm trying to think of, more just performative. I just think that's cooler than just going up there and just thank you. May I have another?
I don't think I knelt for receiving that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that was cool. Because we would always kneel during prayers and then stand for songs.
Yep. Psalms.
And it always sucked because it was old school. They were a very old school church. And then when I moved, it was a more contemporary church where it was a live band.
Yeah.
So then it was way different. I was like, this is so much better than singing fucking... Because the Psalms...
I like the old shit. I like it weird. I like it uncomfortable.
I guess I might as an adult like it, but the Psalms, like you sing it.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, great.
And
First
one lady
verse,
like a pew away is going way too hard, but she's off.
But you kind of like it.
Yeah. And like it's the first time you hear your dad sing, you're just like, this is fucking weird.
And then there's some people doing harmonies, and you're like, what the hell? How do you know? And like, I remember my stepdad, because there is music, he'd like read it, and I'm like, how the fuck are you reading this? But you like sing, you sing the verse, you sing the chorus, there's a second verse, and then it just keeps going.
Yep.
And you're like, how the fuck is there 5 verses?
And how is this helping?
Yeah.
Like what? This isn't in the Bible. When did we start this shit?
Like the first couple verses are like, oh, this makes sense. This is cool. It fits the music. And then
raise you up on eagle's wings.
On verse 5, it goes, this doesn't fit. You're just throwing shit into
or it
this.
gets fucking dark.
Yeah, but then you're still doing the same melody with like words that don't fit in that melody. Because at verse 5, they're like, we ran out of words. Let's just throw this word in.
I don't fucking know.
So then you're just like, what are we doing?
Gotta have faith. Rock
gonna have faith.
Happy Wetember, everybody.
Yeah, how's everyone doing? It is September 1st. We're able to drink. We got some beers. I'm not looking forward to this. This is our first shot. We're about to do a shot. We're gonna change gears.
It is vodka with a splash of margarita mix because the vodka was bad.
Jesus Christ.
Cheers, brother.
This is a big shot. Happy freaking moist Monday.
Not horrible.
Oh, yeah, not bad. Just a lot.
Yeah, you really drank that.
That was a big shot. Whew. That margarita, I'm tearing up.
Oh,
that margarita mix helped a lot.
Yeah, it did.
Whew.
Just because vodka flavor is just the fucking word.
I haven't done a shot in a while.
A month?
And that was not, it was fine. But whew.
I thought it'd be worse.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be worse, and I was prepping for worse. But I was also like, man, I kind of just want whiskey.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to take a swig of my beer because it's like stuck in the back of my throat. It's fucking nasty, dude. Okay, so I brought some topics today.
There you go.
Even though we could talk about religion the entire time. I think people like
I
that.
do it too much, and I don't think people do.
We're bringing up stories. And also, we're not like joking. I mean, we are. But like,
We're not anti
this
time, yeah.
But we're also just like questioning it, which I think is good.
Well, you're not supposed to. And it's like one of the main tenets.
I think you should question everything in life.
You're not supposed to question God.
Why?
I don't know.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something that happened today, though? So I live in a pretty calm apartment.
Okay.
It's pretty quiet. I live on the top floor. Don't deal with a lot of people. This happened twice today.
Okay.
And I've never had this happen to me before in my apartment, and it was the weirdest fucking thing. Apartment. So this morning, I got up and left my apartment because I was going to go check in on my parents' cat because they're out of town.
Sure. How was the cat?
Cat was good.
Cool.
But as I'm leaving, my apartment has like a weird tunnel thing that takes you through the parking a lot.
Well, you go under the building kind of.
There's like a weird tunnel that
Like
goes
a
through the
little
building.
cutout.
So I live like, it kind of is like a motel.
Yes.
I live like kind of in a motel where everything faces, the front door is faced to a pool.
But it's not a motel.
Yeah, but it's, I mean.
My friend doesn't live in a motel.
That'd be awesome if I did live in a motel. Just like for a year. How expensive would that be?
I don't know. But like also like
Would that even be good? People do that.
But also like people do that when they have no money. So I'm really, because like I know like growing up, like my dad did that for a while because they were like poor. But like how's that cheaper?
Yeah, I don't know if but then you don't have to worry about water.
There's like extended stays.
Yeah, but those still, it's probably like a couple
like,
hundred a week.
Yeah.
But I guess, I don't know, rent. It's tough. It might be kind of. I think it is more expensive.
It's got it.
Because my rent's like $750 a month. That's not bad.
Wise booked a hotel for 3 or 4 nights for Moist Mutual's wedding.
Oh hell yeah, in Colorado.
It was like $600, and it's like God.
It adds up quick. But you wanted to say you're not staying in a shithole.
No.
Yeah, you're staying in somewhere nice.
Yeah.
So I live in a motel. No, I'm just kidding. I live in an apartment. So apartment. So I was leaving this morning, I was walking through that tunnel area to get to the parking lot to get to my car, and there was a black dude hanging out. I'm just
setting the scene.
I'm setting the scene.
Yeah,
he was just hanging out, leaning like against at the end of the tunnel in the parking lot.
Was he like smoking or anything?
Just hanging out like on his phone.
Okay.
And as I'm walking through the tunnel, he looks back at me and he smiles.
Oh.
And as I'm getting closer, he's like, "Hey man, what's up?" And he did like the handshake and everything to me, and I'm like, "Dude, what's up? How you do?"
Oh my God.
I've never seen this man in my life.
Sure, but like,
he was awesome.
A good like black guys high five.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Game changer.
It was awesome. I was like, "Hey man, what's up? How you doing?"
I truly believe that could cure a lot of racism. Like,
yeah.
Well, I'll be cool. You just got to give us those high fives like once a week. And it'll just put so much pep in my step.
Because I don't really interact with people. I just kind of like do my thing. So I just walk past people. So I normally would have just walked past him, not said anything, because that's what I do with everybody.
Yes.
Doesn't matter, what he looks like. But I was like, oh,
cover your bases.
But I was like, oh, hell yeah, that's fucking cool. He's like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm doing good. How you doing? He's like, I'm freaking doing great. And then I like got in my car and left, and that was it.
Sure.
And I was like, oh, that was weird, but I feel great.
Made it, yeah.
So then I went to my parents' house, hung out there for a little bit, read a little bit. We'll talk about that later. But I came back home, and then right before I left to come here, I'm going through that tunnel again, and I get to my car, and as I'm getting to my car, somebody yells in the parking lot. It's a different guy.
Oh.
This is a different guy. This happened twice today, and I'm like, what is going on? This was like a blue collar white dude. He was wearing like a neon, like he just got off work. Like a construction worker. He was smoking a cigarette, drinking a beer in the parking lot.
Sure.
And he was like, he yelled. He was like, yo, what's your hat say? And I was like, what? And he was like, what's your hat say? So I'm wearing like a black hat, and on the back of it, it says 8FD. Okay. So that stands for 8 Found Dead, which is a band from Waterloo.
Yeah.
They named their band after the Villisca axe murderer house.
Sure.
Because 8 people found dead.
Did you yell that? That?
So he like yelled and then walks towards me, and I'm like, oh, it's for 8 Found Dead. And he's like, oh, that's cool. And I'm like, yeah, they're a local band from Waterloo. And he's like, oh, that's fucking sweet. And then he fist pounds me.
Fuck yeah.
And I'm like, that's cool. And then he goes, where's your Harley at? And I go, I don't have one yet. I said, yet? And he goes, you'll get one day, dude. And then he walks away, and I'm like, what is happening?
Oh, it's so weird.
Dude, it was because I've never interacted with people. I've been living in this place for a year.
Yeah.
And I've never interacted with people that I live with.
Sure.
This happened twice in a day. And they were like,
what if this is your new normal?
But both people were so excited to it's like they knew me.
That's what's wild.
And I was like, do I know them?
And like in the morning and
it was like 10:30 a.m. and then 5 p.m. So different times a day. In the same vicinity. It was the weirdest thing, but it also like made me feel like, whoa, am I cool?
You're the belle of the ball.
And apparently I'm gonna get a Harley, dude.
One day.
I'm not fucking wearing a video game t-shirt.
Yeah, like,
and he thought I was in skinny jeans.
Like you got a beard.
I got a beard, but he was like so happy. And I was like, what are you? He like got so excited when I told him about the hat. Yeah. He doesn't know who they are.
No, he probably just had a good day and he wanted to share it with you.
God, it was the weirdest thing. I was like, what the fuck is going on? So that was my day. And I hope that continued. Like imagine waking up every day and leaving and that guy's just like, hey man, what's up? And
That'd
I'm
be
like,
fucking great.
I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Just smiling, freaking getting a handshake. He's like, oh, what's your shirt mean? You got the Harley yet?
Not yet.
How much are they? I don't know. How much are bikes? I don't know. $2,000, $3,000? Because they're less than cars.
You can get some for $2,000 or $3,000, but like a good
Harley. A Harley is like a vroom vroom,
like
dude.
12, 8.
Especially if you get a good one.
So I think last time I looked at motorcycles, the one I wanted cost like $8,000.
Yeah, because you can get a cheap like crotch rocket.
Yeah,
but I would want like a cruiser.
I want a city bike, not like a bike. Like I think it's called
a
something
city
like that.
bike.
Or like
What's a city bike?
Or like a street bike. I don't know.
So what is
the one? All right, so my favorite motorcycle.
Yes, I don't know anything about motorcycles, so let's talk about it.
Well, no, like the motorcycle I want mine to look like is the Nazi motorcycle from Indiana Jones.
Yeah, the great start.
No, Indiana Jones, the motorcycle they steal in that one. Something fucking about it. I love the way it looks. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No,
the one
I don't.
It's him and Sean Connery.
It'll be on the screen right now for
All
people
right,
watching on YouTube.
Look it up because I want to make sure I'm picturing it.
It's from the first Indiana Jones?
Third Indiana Jones.
Third Indiana Jones. I'm going to be honest. I don't know Indiana Jones that well.
The first three are great. Motorcycle.
The new one doesn't look good.
The last one was really bad. Well, I guess I haven't seen the new one.
But I know they did like de-aging shit, and that always looks terrible.
Yeah, it's unnecessary.
Like we know he's old, we get it.
Yeah, and we want him to be old.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, like that kind of shit.
Oh, with the sidecar.
Well, I don't need the sidecar.
No, I like the sidecar, dude.
Sure. Well, yeah, that's where you would ride.
You think I'd be in the sidecar?
If we have motorcycles.
If we have motorcycles, that means we both have one.
No, if we have a motorcycle.
You know what motorcycle I want?
What?
Ghost Rider.
Sure, the skeleton one that shoots flames. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That would
Who wouldn't want that one?
Yep, that'd be pretty cool.
What other motorcycle? Ooh, the Batmobile motorcycle.
Oh, sure.
Where it comes out the car.
Yeah,
which is super unrealistic.
if I got a like a
That one
bat,
goes up buildings,
if I
dude.
got a bat bike, I'd want like the older ones where it's just way too bat themed.
Yeah.
I love that
but
shit.
a good Harley, dude.
Yeah.
With like the leather tassels, maybe.
You're going for tassels, huh?
Dude, you gotta.
I know my dad had a Fat Boy, I think it's called.
My ex-girlfriend's mom was way into motorcycles.
Okay.
And she was into the brand Indian.
No idea.
I think they're a big type of motorcycle, like Indian motorcycles. And they were pretty cool. I think Harley is just cool because it's like
You know
a
the
name, it's a
name, yeah.
name brand. But I would want one that's like has like a carriage case in the back. Like you can put like shit in it. You know? And then a carriage car would be fucking
You
sick.
wouldn't want a little basket on the front, like a bicycle?
It's a motorcycle.
Yeah, a
Don't
little
put-
like
no, put it in the
little wicker.
Do motorcycles have wicker baskets? I doubt it.
You could glue one on.
Yeah, I'm gonna glue it onto my bike.
No, I know. Yeah, my dad had a Fat Boy, and it was cool, but like, it's not worth it to me.
Did he get rid of it?
Yeah, he sold it.
So
'cause
he only had it for a little bit.
he had it for probably like 10 years or so.
Damn.
He has bad shoulders though, so like the vibration.
Oh
just
yeah,
fucks
so
with
that's
him.
why he got rid of it. I
And
remember
he just didn't ride it enough.
I think my grandpa got a motorcycle like when he was super young.
Yeah.
And he got it just to be like, oh, I'm cool.
Yeah.
And then like was an idiot and crashed it. And like that's like the scary part
My
because like
grandparents crashed a motorcycle.
because like you get it. Luckily, I was never that guy where I was like, I'm gonna get a motorcycle. My cousin was that and got a crotch rocket and was an idiot with it. He'd go
he
like
crashed that, didn't he?
Yeah, he like would go like 125
Fuck
with it.
that.
And it's like a crotch rocket. Like, I mean, I get that that's kind of the point.
The thrill of it, but like it's
And
not.
I was on the back one time with
Yeah.
him when he was going. And
I
it's
rode
like,
with him before,
and it
but,
was like scary, dude.
I don't want to be scraped off the pavement. Like it's not worth that.
No, it's just fucking terrible. And like most people don't wear helmets because they don't want to. And it's just like, dude, that's so dangerous.
I'm so
I don't
confused.
think
Helmets look cool.
Yeah, they do. 'Cause,
Yeah,
you
like
know?
how also the bugs and the wind burn, like
Yeah, it fucking hits you in the face.
No,
and-
so my grandparents in their like 60s rode a motorcycle, no helmets, and then they crashed it and like went to the emergency room. And also
so
they
that
crashed
they
it.
almost ruined the family line, dude. You might not be here.
Well, no, this was when they were in their 60s. They were grandparents at the time.
Oh, they were
No, so this was like within the past like probably like 8 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah, but the way they crashed it was just pulling into like they were just like doing a slow turn into like a grocery store
And just fell over.
tipped.
Yeah.
And then they had to be helicopter like evac'd. to the
Jesus
hos-
Christ. So
Yeah.
they weren't even doing. Dude, that's
No.
what they're so scary.
And they didn't fucking wear helmets. And like my grandmother,
because they were probably like, oh, we're just going on a nice. They're not going to go fast.
no, they like traveled in it, and they never wore a fucking helmet. And it was like my grandma wasn't in a helmet.
And she was just holding onto your grandpa's
Yeah.
waist. Give him a
Fucking
freaking handy while he's
what?
driving.
Jesus Christ.
It's too far.
I mean, a handy's not too far.
I mean, how do you think you're here?
A weird hand job.
No.
just great reflexes.
No, I think you're
handy in a throw.
No, I think your grandma was dripping. No, it's just so funny to say that, dude.
Yeah, she's still alive too.
Oh, I'm sorry. I take it
You
back.
would prefer it if she was dead.
No, I don't. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Do you have any grandmas left?
Yeah, I have a lot.
What?
Yeah. So my grand what?
You can only. There's a maximum amount you can have.
Well, I am lucky. I'm #blessed that most of my parents, all of my parents are divorced and remarried.
You only got two. Oh, but also
Remarried.
divorced, remarried.
Yeah. So
divorced.
step grandparents.
How many stepmoms or how many parents have you had total?
Ooh, total. Well, I haven't met some of them.
How many parents have you had total? How many mom, dad, stepmom, stepdad?
I'm trying to think. So I've only had 2 fatherly figures.
I'm saying like by title, not even like. I'm saying just how many have technically been in that.
So yeah, only 2 dad figures and then mom figures. We got 1, 2,
OG.
3, 4, 5, 6. So 8 parents.
Fuck, that's so many grandparents.
But I haven't met most of my
Stepmoms.
technically stepmoms, which means I haven't met their grandparents.
I would
But
assume
but
so.
of the ones I have met, they have been divorced too. So luckily my
You do
mom's
have so many.
yeah. So yeah, that's why I said I have a lot. My mom, luckily, my grandparents on my mom's side are still together, but
Okay.
on my stepdad's side, they are divorced. So that's 2 sets of grandparents.
That's on my dad's side. I have that.
And then on my dad's side, they're also divorced. So 2 sets of grandparents on those sides.
And then
And then my
in there.
stepmom, my stepmom's mom, she was married, and I knew her. They had a really cool pool that I used to swim in a lot, but then they got divorced. She never got remarried. But yeah, I have a lot. But like my great grandparents on my mom's side, I'm closest to my mom's side. My great grandparents died like when I was in high school.
Dude, I still got a great grandma kicking it.
That's cool. But
South Dakota.
But most of that's where most of my family's from, is South Dakota.
No shit.
Which is really cool. But
Deadlands?
Deadlands is dope. I don't know where they are.
Yeah.
They're like, it's small town.
Or Badlands, which is in outside Deadwood.
Deadwood.
Yeah.
I would like to go back there. I went there when I was a kid.
I think it's worse now because like it was kitschy back then,
I think it's very touristy.
but I think it's probably gone downhill since.
But I would love to go visit.
See where that guy got shot?
I would love to go visit Mount Rushmore again.
I have no need to ever go back there.
I went there as a kid.
I've been there 3 times.
See, I've only been there once.
It does not change.
No. But how is it still in progress? You know what I mean? When you go there, they go, "Oh, we're still working on it."
Are they?
Yeah, that's what they say. They like, how is it not done? Because it's always because weather is fucking. You know what I mean?
Oh sure, yeah. Well,
so there's
originally it was supposed to be full fucking torsos.
I know.
Too.
So like, there's people that have been like their entire job was to work on it and they died, and then their sons are working on it and they've died.
Well, do you know nobody died on site though? Is that interesting? Because I met a guy who worked on the original one the first time I went there.
Because they had
we went there for my
explosives.
birthday for some fucking reason.
Did you ask for that?
I was like, yep, there it is.
It's cool. You can't even get that close.
No,
because if you get that close, it's not cool. You got to be far away to see it.
And it's also not that cool. Because what I do love close to there, I think it's technically a state over, but still close, is Devil's Tower.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I think it is in South Dakota. Because I remember doing the trip.
I think it's like right across one of the state borders.
I remember doing the trip when I was younger. We did the Faces, and then we did Devil's Tower,
and
then we went to Deadwood.
Okay, yep.
And so we did that was the entire trip.
I've done that whole trip too.
Yeah, Devil's Tower. Seems
because you can climb rocks and you can go up and touch it, and like the Native American story was a giant bear scraped those things in.
Fucking. See, I would like to do that as an adult. I think I did it when I was in elementary school.
I'm saying Mount Rushmore, you could spend 10 minutes there.
Yeah, but I would still like to just see it again because I don't remember it. But I obviously know what it looks like.
Any remembrance you have of it is all it is.
But it would be cool to go back to Deadwood and drink like old beer
in a saloon.
Saloon, yeah, because they probably have those. You know,
they definitely do. Yeah, I assume everyone there is an alcoholic.
It'd be very touristy, but I would like it because I wouldn't know what I'm getting into.
Sure, the Wild West, even though it's the
Midwest. You know how I would get there?
By horse?
Nope, by Harley, baby.
There you go.
I'm gonna get a fucking bike.
One day.
Do you think? So going back to the motorcycle conversation.
Yes. You had with a stranger earlier today.
Well, and you now.
Yeah, now.
Do you think, like ever, you will get a bike? Like, because you said you have a dream bike, so that's even further than I have.
Yeah. Well, I picked out a bike that I would get. I have considered it.
And you've looked up prices, it seems like, yeah.
So I have considered it, especially now that I have my new job.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be sick.
Which is in town, so I would only have to ride 2 miles. I've considered getting one.
Just for the efficiency?
Yes, because I have no need to ever take it on the interstate or like highway or like travel far distances.
But you don't think that would be? You don't think if you got one, you'd be curious?
Probably eventually.
You would go like, all right, let's see what this baby can do.
But like, I have also when I lived downtown, I thought about getting a moped. I found a moped I really wanted.
Moped's different than motorcycle.
I know, but it was like $800, and it was like cherry red, and it was fucking stupid.
You seem like a moped guy.
I would, but I would dress like a Harley guy, but on my moped.
You'd wear a leather jacket,
but like the leather with the tassel, so it's like.
See, now you were making fun of me earlier for bringing the tassel, but you want the tassel.
Yeah, but you said the tassels on the bike, like
on the handles.
Yeah, like it was like an 8-year-old girl's bike with the pink and purple
with
tassels.
The leather tassels, baby.
What, out of the bar?
No, out of the handle. Vroom, vroom.
No, the tassels are from the jacket.
I think there's tassels on the handles too.
I really don't think there is.
You can have both.
You could glue some on.
And assless chaps.
All chaps are assless.
Why are they called chaps? Because you get a chapped ass when you wear them?
Because you don't get chapped if you wear them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because you need that in case you fucking fall over. And skid.
Yeah.
That's supposed to protect you from dying.
Yeah. In case I need to go into a controlled skid.
Why are motorcycles so big if they're just so dangerous?
I don't know. God, I had a dude lane split on me on my way home recently.
Oh yeah, where they just drive through cars?
Which is illegal in Iowa.
Oh, it should be illegal everywhere.
It's not in California. I know that.
Motorcycles do that, or they go around people on the... Dude,
fucking hate it.
That's so scary.
Yeah.
And they're usually not wearing a helmet.
Yeah, and like also like I'm not paying attention if you're lane splitting because I don't fucking expect it.
And they come up so fast.
Because like two bikes sharing a lane, sure, whatever. I don't give a shit.
Because you're in a
Same with also because most motorcycles know that most police will not chase them because it's not fucking worth it to kill a person.
Yeah, because dude,
like if they're speeding, a cop's not going to follow generally because like if they go down, they die.
And I remember in driver's ed, they taught us how to. You have to drive differently around motorcycles because they stop a lot faster.
Yep.
And so it's like you got to give them space.
Yep.
And it's like that's so wild because that's such a minority.
Well, and in the FedEx truck, I'm terrified of the wind throwing them off because you drive next to a semi, you can feel the wind hitting you.
Yeah, because of the drag.
Yeah.
And then if
like,
they go
I'm
around.
terrified of doing that to a bike and like just murdering a person.
So do you think you will ever get one?
Because I'm overall like I would not mind if motorcycles were illegal in general. I think they're not worth it.
I think they're kind of.
They're cool.
They're cool.
No,
I get why they're cool.
But like if they weren't allowed, I would not be upset.
And also they're annoying.
I would get why people were upset, but me as someone who is fine in a car, I would rather not fucking kill you.
Yeah, they're really. I like the way they look. They're cool, but also the people that have them are annoying, and they always makes two. They're always like every time they're revving, they're driving by
downtown, and when you get like 10 of them,
and you're sitting on the patio and a motorcycle goes by, you're just like, oh, every time that happens, or when a car revs, I always go, oh, you're cool. Like, I'm always like, they're doing it to get looks,
and they think people love it. I think
everyone hates it.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry if you're listening to this podcast on a motorcycle. You probably look cool, just don't rev.
They're just gonna drive into a semi right now.
Jesus Christ! And it's like, this is the thing they die to.
Yeah.
So then at their funeral, it's like this is their favorite podcast. It's like when you thought about dying to Panic at the Disco.
Biggest fear.
Yeah, it's like
I will say, Sons of Anarchy, great show.
Motorcycles.
Yep.
I will say Daryl Dixon. Cool dude.
Yep.
Motorcycle.
Ghost Rider. Fuck
cool
yeah.
dude. Like they're cool.
Evil Knievel.
Yeah.
Patron saint of Rita.
Yeah. Patron saint of Rita.
God, I kind of want a tattoo of that now.
What does she look like? Is she cool?
Oh, she's hot as fuck.
Oh, of course she is, dude. The patron saint of
Saint Rita.
She's the patron saint of what? Something impossible tasks.
Yeah. I don't even know this is her. Rita of Caskia.
So she's just a German, or not German. She's just a.
Why are you assuming where Caskia is? You don't fucking know.
She's just it's just basically in a.
Here's
a
Jesus
god.
shooting a laser beam at her. Put that on the feed. I don't fucking know.
Put that on the fucking.
It's just a bunch.
Back.
Just a bunch of. She keeps having shit on her forehead. Does she have a fucking
impossible? It's impossible tasks, dude.
No, dude. She has a fucking nail in her forehead at all times.
So she's perfect for you,
She's
dude.
a fucking human blockhead. Jesus shot that.
So how are you never?
Jesus is shooting a goddamn laser beam into her forehead.
So how have you never heard of her, dude? This is your god.
Because I'm not a Catholic anymore. I fucking love this woman. No joke.
So she's like a nun?
She's a nail in her forehead.
What the fuck?
I love this woman.
Yeah, but
Goddamn.
she's a nun. I didn't know saints. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
They're nuns, but she literally has a nail coming out of her
No,
forehead.
in every photo. Oh, I'm going to.
So that's how she can connect. That's how she gets superpowers?
Oh, shit. No, this is my new thing.
Dude, you got to do some research.
Yeah. And it's also my grandma's name.
Rita?
Yeah, the dead one, though.
Oh, she's not dripping anymore.
No, she's very dry.
Very dry.
Fun fact, those were the first boobs I ever saw because she went crazy in her old age.
And would just get naked?
She was a big flasher, which I don't know why that's a thing.
No, I think
No, it is a thing, though.
No, yeah, I remember visiting my step grandpa in the nursing home, and old women would do that. I think they feel constricted with clothes.
Well, also they don't have to lift their shirt as high to flash you their titties because they're down by their ankles already.
Well, especially if they were big boobed.
Yep, Rita was. She loved that and solitaire. That's all I knew about her.
Solitaire?
She could yodel.
I like solitaire. Oh, she could yodel. Let's hear it.
I can't do it. I did not inherit that. I remember
I bet you could.
Well, she would bounce me on her knee and she would yodel, but because she was a little crazy, she didn't know how loud she was. So I just remember it being like
just
fucking
screaming
blaring in my ear.
Dude, that's fucking awesome.
Yep. And then they put her desktop computer in like a little closet for her solitaire. So you just open it and it was just her on her computer.
So it was,
and she would just like look at you. Like it looked like kind of like
Ryan from The Office.
A little bit, yeah.
Where he's just in the fucking closet.
But like she had a crazy like child look in her eyes. So it was like you caught her every time.
And dude, I love how she's alone in the closet playing a game called Solitaire, which is a lonely game.
Yeah, and then she would just go ooh la da loo like all the fucking time. I'm not even joking. Like that was her thing. Like she like
isn't it weird that we're gonna be old?
Yeah. But like,
I can't.
Do you think this podcast will help us listening back on old times?
It might.
That's kind of my hope.
It might save me from getting fucking whatever the disease
You think
is.
it would honestly slow down dementia? Like, because she had Alzheimer's.
Yeah,
which
my grandparents have Alzheimer's and dementia. They
'Cause-
have both. So I'm going to get both. I already have a terrible memory, so.
Because honestly, like, I remember like my mom talking about like if she had Alzheimer's, like fucking kill her. And like I get it.
I get it too, but also it's what's so wild to me is you're not aware. So you could be having a great time.
Don't they say that you have moments where you're aware of everything though?
But you can't process it or say it?
No, I think like suddenly you like for moments you are you again.
Oh Jesus.
I don't know if that's true or not,
So it's like you're
but,
on
like-
drugs. I mean, you are taking a ton of drugs.
Probably, yeah. They are working hard on Alzheimer's. That's like the one like
I
thing
mean, that's a massive fucking.
and it's the worst thing.
But it's so weird. Like when we were younger, thinking about like our experiences with grandparents and great grandparents, and that's just what we know of them.
I never knew my grandma.
But like the ones that you did.
Well, no, I'm saying Rita. I never knew her
Oh,
because it was
well,
always
I'm talking about.
that.
I'm talking about. Yeah, but that's what you know of her,
Right.
And then thinking about like, oh, I only know my grandparents, so they've always looked the same to me. But they were 20 at some point.
Some point, yeah.
That's so weird. So then it's so wild that my entire life I only know these group of people of being old and gray.
Yeah.
And that's how they've always looked to me. But for them, they go, I just look like this for this time period. I wish I could look back. I wish I could be what I was like. We're in our 20s. And I can't even imagine like in 40 years, if I have kids and then they have kids, this generation is going to be just going to know me as that. They're not going to know me as this.
Well,
that's so weird.
It's interesting.
It's so wild.
It's interesting watching my niece know my parents.
Yeah. Because they're looking up as a grandparent.
Yes.
So you see, like, they look at them differently.
Like, so I have mom and dad.
Luckily, they're young. They're still young.
But like she has Papa and Grain. Like that's what she calls them.
Yeah.
And they are like, they're not so different, but their roles are so different. Like grandparents are so different than parents. And that was weird to see.
It is because it's a different dynamic.
They're fun.
Because it's like, yeah, they spoil you. I'm going to go spend the weekend with grandma or grandpa.
My dad will never have to yell at them, which is so fun for him. Like
there probably will be like one or two times. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, that's fun.
Never grounder. Like they'll never have that aspect, which I think is so interesting.
I loved as a child going over to my grandparents' house because see
titties? No, just me.
Just you. That was just you, and you go, I don't like boobs. That's why you became an ass man. You never saw her, but
I don't think so. No, because that would be a diaper.
Yeah, that'd be weird. But I remember like being so excited to go over because like my grandma would make pancakes.
Okay.
Incredible chocolate chip pancakes. She'd always go like, "Hey, do you want to add
It's got the Holy Spirit in it.
Do you want to add the chocolate chips?" So I'd like there'd be a step stool so I could step and add the chocolate chips.
I picture you. I knew you as a child. I still picture you with a beard now.
Yeah, it's weird, dude.
Like, but you still have like your coconut haircut and then there's a beard.
Yeah. We could Photoshop that photo. That'd be really funny. It is weird because I feel like a different person.
Oh, for sure.
But I mean, we are.
Yeah,
but
I had hair back then.
But it was so weird because I would look forward to it, and then just that's when I would watch the Inspector Gadget cartoon.
Sure.
That's when I would watch, like, my grandpa would always have like tennis on Sunday afternoons, and he would fall asleep watching it. I just remember.
Did you
that.
only have good grandparents? Because like,
because I'm closer on my mom's side, and those grandparents are like my grandparents. You know what I mean?
See,
so those are and they are good ones.
Because I remember my grandpa pulling a gun from behind his TV counter and being like, "Yeah, this is my N-word gun," but he did not say the N-word, or he said the N-word, and you're like, Jesus Christ.
You said that to you as a child?
I was old enough, but like still, that's what it was. And he was like, in case they get too close, I was like, what is happening?
Well, I do remember.
It's okay. He's dead too. And joke's on him. Before he died, his foot turned black.
Yeah. Do you weep or you
But then
woe?
he cut it off.
You weep or you so? Oh, he did? And he hung it? Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry. It was his foot, okay? He's doing it.
He was a bad person and he's dead now, and I'm happy about it. He did buy me my first car, though.
And your first gun.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
really?
My first 3 guns.
Oh, and your only 3 guns.
Yes. Only one I kept, but it's also not working.
I remember on my dad's side. So my grandparents on that side, I didn't know as well. But my grandma's super sweet on that side, and she was married to this guy who was my step grandpa.
Okay.
And he was really nice and cool. He's dead now. But I found out later in life, like no joke, like maybe 5 or 6 years ago after he died, that like he was a pedophile. And like, yeah, he was a pedophile. And like when he was younger, did some fucked up shit. As an old man, he was nice. And like he was like in the army and shit.
So this is your like step, right?
No, this would be he's just a step grandpa.
So married your grandma.
Yeah, married my grandma on my dad's side. Turned out he was a pedophile. I didn't know this, but I was around, and me and all my siblings were around him as children. Wow. And we didn't know this.
And your parents would have, right?
Yeah, they would have.
Fuck.
Isn't that weird? Like,
That's
he's like a registered
wild.
like pedophile. And it was like, and I go, yikes.
Do you know, like, was it maybe like he was 18, she was 16, where he's not like.
I think it was a little like, yeah, he was like right at, like,
he did something bad, but not like he's not evil.
No, he was like 19, 20, and he was in the army. And then I think maybe he was talking to like a 16-year-old. You know, so it is
not good, but not
good, but also like
child.
He was on a list.
Yeah.
So like
still,
but is weird.
Cause for concern.
It is weird finding that out as an adult and being like, oh, I spent a lot of time with him as a child.
Yeah.
That was weird. Just like, because you just go, oh, you're just an old man.
Yeah.
You don't realize, oh, you have this capability in you.
You did something. Yeah.
That's just weird.
That's wild. Yeah.
And he was like at that age when I knew him, like so small, shriveled. He was like in a wheelchair, like couldn't move much.
And he was just after 60-year-olds at that point.
Yeah. Well, but like he was just so like he couldn't do much. So like maybe if he did want to, he couldn't. You know what I mean? But like back in the day, he was mobile and like probably strong. And I remember I did as a child. It was nice and I liked him, and it was always fun. He lived on a farm. Yeah. And we'd always play hide and seek in his barn, and that was cool. And he'd go.
You probably weren't the only ones who play hide and seek with that man.
Well, we wouldn't play with him. It was just me and my cousin. He couldn't play.
No, it wasn't fun when he found you.
No. You want to sit on my lap, buddy?
God.
Yeah, dude.
It's fucking wild. All right. Speaking of pedophiles.
Oh, you got a transition?
Yeah. What time are we at?
50 minutes.
All right. I think we can end it with this.
Okay.
So, Izzy and I recently watched the Jared Fogle documentary on HBO.
There's a documentary about him.
On HBO Max.
Nice. Bummer, dude. Eat Fresh?
I thought it would be more fun than it was. I'm not going to lie. It was such a fucking bummer.
Why would you think it'd be fun?
So, true crime used to be a lot more fun for me until I got a fucking niece and nephew.
Yep.
And now it fucking...
Because it's real.
Yes.
Yep.
Now I'm like, oh, shit.
Do you think that's why young women like true crime so much, is because they don't have children?
I don't know, but most true crime is about young women being raped and murdered.
True.
Yeah. But like...
Yeah, true. I'm going to be honest, I hate true crime.
And I like
it
more
freaks me the fuck out.
I do like true crime, but like
this... it's real.
Yeah, like when it got to like kids stuff, I was like, oh shit. Because now I'm like, ooh, I have a face to like...
Yeah, so you like when they're telling stories about like, oh, this happened to this young girl, you picture your niece.
When you say like age, I'm like, oh, I know what that age is now. And like, it's fucking weird.
And imagine being the people. Oof. What a bummer, dude.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. But yeah, anyways.
What a bummer.
But
why would you went into this thinking it'd be fun to watch?
I thought it'd be more. So,
I thought it'd be interesting.
not fun, but not as. I guess I did not take in what it was at first, because like, oh, Jared from Subway. So, but a really funny aspect of it is Izzy kept saying, why was this man famous?
Oh, she didn't know.
Because she's a couple years. She heard of him, but because she's a couple years younger than us. Yeah. But I was like, well, he lost a lot of weight eating Subway sandwiches. Yeah. Dude, and she was like, okay. Why do we care? I'm like, I don't know, but it was awesome that he did that.
No, dude, it was.
I can't tell you why.
That is wild. That. Yeah, we know him as being a famous celebrity.
Like, so famous.
But
like,
literally, it was just a guy that was super fat and ate foot-long sandwiches and lost weight, but then would wear his big pants still to show how big,
and we loved
to show how many kids he would fit in that in the jeans. And
I can get so many kids in my pants. And he was like, "What? What was that?" He was like, "Nothing."
I've lost a ton of weight by eating at this restaurant. Like he was the commercials.
All of them. Like he was a millionaire.
Yeah.
And like because I was like.
Probably, he looked pretty good at the end.
Yeah.
Like the before and after photos, you're like, holy shit, dude. He lost like 250 pounds. Yeah. Like that's a ton of... That's so like sandwiches. So like in a bubble, just for the weight loss.
Bravo.
Good for you. Like that's really impressive. Everything else, let's not talk about it.
Because it turns out not fun.
Yeah. And not good. Not good for you.
But like also Subway's not healthy.
I like Subway.
No, it's not healthy though. Their bread is so sugary. In other countries, it's legally called cake.
Yeah.
But also
how did he lose weight?
Because he worked out a shit ton and didn't eat full footlongs. He ate like just like probably like turkey on like wheat, and that's it.
But why would he keep going to Subway? Because it was as cheap back then?
Like, I don't know. Did he have a plan to be this guy?
Yeah. How did that become a thing? Or did they pick a fat person and they're like, and they wanted to sponsor
like
him?
A Manchurian candidate, but like you're going to lose weight and you're going to like it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to make you so fucking rich. And then we don't even care what you do with that. And then it turns out they do.
Turns out they do care.
Yeah, it was,
they forgot to put that clause
some
in it.
parameters. Yeah. Because also it's so funny that the documentary is called Jared from Subway. And you're like, God, because when
that's the only way you know him. But you know what I mean?
Because I started saying that and I was like, God, that's a fucking bummer. And then Izzy's like, why? It's free promotion. I'm like, yeah, but it's Jared from like it's Jared. And she's like, yeah, he's famous. And so she didn't even understand any aspect of it.
Can you imagine being Subway? Like you had to rebrand. How do you, as a
I don't even know
corporation, continue? Like people probably quit going to your restaurants because of that.
I'm curious because like
they probably had a dip in sales and then they have to rebrand. Obviously, Subways are everywhere and they're in small towns.
Well, I think Subways is the biggest fast food because they have like a Walmart deal and all that shit. Like,
but how did they at that point? That could have ruined them.
And like what it was so out of nowhere.
Yeah, because he was on TV for years probably.
Well, because I explained to her like I would have recognized him on the street. That's how famous he was.
And he's a normal looking white dude.
Yeah, like as a 10-year-old, I would have. Oh, that's Jared from Subway. Like I knew who that was. I knew what he looked like. I knew.
And you probably would be like, oh, a 10-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I look like. Yeah.
You go. You're my hard drive. Yikes! I'm sorry. It's about you. I could say it. He's not 10 anymore.
Yeah, it's fine now if Jared fucks me.
Imagine how famous you would be.
But like the documentary was fucking wild.
How long was it?
3 episodes, about an hour each, probably like 45 minutes each. Yeah.
Who did they interview?
One woman. So that's the interesting part. Is there was one woman who was like a TV or radio personality, like hosted her own show, that kind of stuff, and she had a meeting or she had interviewed Jared, like everyone fucking did. Like I don't think he ever came to our school.
No, but he did go. He did go to school.
Like
which is, if you think about it,
insane.
That's what started it.
So yeah, this girl
or added fuel to the fire.
I don't fucking know. Like, is it just that he was like this weird, like lonely kid, and that's what started it, and then he's got super famous and rich?
I mean, dude,
because it was funny when they were talking about him as a child, because they interviewed people from his school and they're like, yeah, that was the fattest person in our middle school. I was like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, I don't want to
like I wouldn't talk to him because that would hurt me.
I don't want to like discriminate all fat people. Well, no. but like when you get to a certain size, you become just kind of an outcast.
It's not the fatness, it's the loner. It's the outcast aspect. Yeah,
but then also you add it and then
cause and effect.
You become this weird guy that everybody doesn't talk to.
Which I think modern day is a lot better on.
It's a lot better, but back like when we were growing up, because I remember there was a guy in my junior high that was really pretty big, and he was really weird, and nobody would talk to him. And there was a kid. It's terrible, but like that's what it was.
God,
you know,
there was a kid in my grade who was a big kid. Also, he was a dickhead. Like he was a bad person.
So that but
his last name was Hughes. So we all called him his name Huge.
Yeah.
And it's like when I think about that, I'm like, fuck, that was bad. but
when you were a kid, kids are mean. Dude.
And also, like I don't even. Who fucking knows what kids deal with today? Jesus.
Yeah, with social media.
Christ. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably a lot.
Anyway, so there's this radio personality woman who met him, interviewed him, was fine, and they like hung out at one point. And apparently he just leans over and he's like, hey, aren't middle schoolers fucking hot? And then that was it. And she was like, oh shit.
What? So he was like obvious about it.
Just with her, apparently. So now,
oh my God.
Now this woman's like, I gotta do something. So she starts kind of a relationship with him, which is, it's a weird thing that kind of started where...
So you started like a friendship with him?
Yeah.
Just to get...
Well, and it got like romantic and shit, but it was all over phone because he travels to all the schools across the nation and later on the world.
Just so she could
Yeah, so she does that.
Oh
She starts
my
recording
God.
every conversation, and then she gets him like admitting some stuff, but it's not proof. So she goes to the FBI. She's like, hey, I got these tapes. And they're like, that's fucking illegal what you did. So now they're like, you have to keep doing this for us. And so she's like, now, or you'll be charged because she recorded him illegally.
Oh, I didn't know that was a crime.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, you got to
So
get consent.
this is like her
Oh my God. So now she's like, well,
No, she's in it.
yeah, but at this point, she's doing the deed. Like,
Yeah.
she's doing the Lord's work.
Yeah.
Actually, she's doing the Holy Ghost work.
Yeah, no, yeah, she's the
not-
chocolate in this ice
Yeah.
cream. But, and then so now she's like, now she has to do it for the FBI. But then he starts being like, how old are your kids? And then so now
Oh,
she's like,
shit.
fuck. I remember like even hearing that, I was like, oh shit, it got real.
Yeah.
He was like, can I put a camera in there? Shit. Like he's now like, which one do you think I would prefer? And now she has to be like,
And she has to go along with it.
because all she kept doing is like, I don't know. Because
my
also they have
God.
zero fucking proof at this point because
He has to like put a camera.
yeah, because she has to pretend because she kept asking me like, how young do you like him? Because she has to like get the
Yeah, and she has
words
to,
out of
and
his
she
mouth.
has to like pretend to be his friend. So you have to
It's
like oh Jesus.
And 'cause she was
that
like-
probably fucked her up so much.
No, and that was part of it because also they interviewed her like kid, and it was like, yeah, my mom was scared all the time but couldn't tell me, so I was terrified of the entire world. And
Jesus
you're like,
Christ.
what the? So like that also
What a
added so much
bummer.
darkness where I was like, fuck.
Yeah, that dude. It is insane to think about.
Yeah, like
Because
just
like
the ripple effect.
Well, and also just like yeah, you go that's fucked up. He had hard drives, but then think about how in every individual family, and then the ripples of that.
yeah.
I guaranteed none of them eat at Subway anymore
Probably not.
because
Jesus.
it's so much trauma.
Yeah, and like they're everywhere. And
Yeah.
like,
And it's just so easy on when you're on a road trip.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's or you're at Walmart. Let's get a foot long or
because
and sometimes you crave the specific taste of Subway.
see, I haven't had Subway since the food poisoned me because I used to
Yeah.
trust their tuna.
Yeah, well, I don't know why you would trust their tuna.
Yeah, and at that point I knew it wasn't even tuna.
Well, yeah.
Do you remember when that was a huge story?
Yeah, where they go. It's not really tuna.
It's
and it's
just-
not really bread.
Yeah.
And it's not really fresh.
Yeah.
But guess what? We're gonna eat fresh.
One way or another.
That's
Fucked.
interesting. 3 hours of that.
Yeah,
Did it just end and you just were silent?
was
You were
like,
just
God
you were
damn
like,
it.
Now what do I do?
Yeah,
What do I like? What do you follow up? Like, how do you get that taste out of your mouth? Like after you watch that, what do you do? Because you can't go to bed.
No, you have a Subway sandwich. You get that taste out of your mouth.
No.
All the free branding.
You
Yeah.
can't do that.
All the free marketing.
No, you gotta like. What do you do to like put your mind back in?
I think
like,
I
what
watched,
did you watch?
Oh, regular show.
Okay, good.
That's been my falling asleep show.
Oh, okay. I've seen a few episodes.
I've never really watched it, and now it's just like I kind of listen to it because it's weird. Pretty good show.
Regular, yeah, I've heard it's pretty good. I know people that love it.
Yeah, it's like I like cartoons to fall asleep to because the voices are more fun.
You know what show I started recently?
what?
So I like putting on shows when I edit.
Okay,
And it's always like just, I was doing Simpsons for a while. But I like, spicing
good
it up.
background.
But it's usually I go on Disney Plus.
Yep.
When I'm just because that's just good background. Mm-hmm. I put on a show from my childhood
Okay,
that I think we've talked about before on the podcast, but I hadn't watched it. But now I'm rewatching it and I love it. 8 Simple Rules.
Jesus Christ.
I started that show.
Yeah,
I loved this show as a child.
That's the one where the guy dies, right?
Yeah, John Ritter,
Okay,
which Three's Company.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, this is his. And
I
what's
forget that's why I know his name because
Yeah.
my parents watched that when I grew up.
Well, and
a lot.
also the girl from Serial Mom.
Which one?
The Suzanne Summers. She's in Three's Company.
Oh yes, I knew that. Yeah, I thought you were going 8 Simple because it was the 8 Simple Rules daughter. She's famous, right?
Kaylee Cuoco.
Right. That's how she got her start.
Yeah. Dude, I was obsessed with Kaylee Cuoco, obviously.
Still
and also
hot as fuck.
the redhead chick, super hot. The redhead daughter, super hot.
In 8 Simple, I've never seen the show.
I love the show. It's as a child, I would come home from school and it would be on from 4 to 4:30, 4:30 to 5. So there'd be 2 episodes every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I would watch it all the time. I would love it. And then obviously John Ritter died during the show.
Yes.
So they had to kill him all.
Fucking.
And I remember crying because it's like it's so emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would play reruns of the show.
And he's in them.
and I would watch it and I'd love it, and then it'd get to the dying scene again and I would cry again because I'd go, God damn, you're dead.
Well, because also in the it's not like because he died in real life, so it's not like they lead up to it.
No, it just happens. And the way
dies.
they do it in the show is so sad.
Does he have like a fight with somebody and then leaves?
So he has a fight with Kaylee Cuoco, who's like the oldest daughter.
Because that's just the last thing he filmed?
Yeah, and like so he leaves to go get milk, and I'm pretty sure the last thing she says to him in the show is "I hate you."
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, and he comes back.
But is he in that scene?
He's in the scene and then leaves. So
they filmed a fight, a real
fight in the show, and then to wrap it up, they say that he gets in a car accident and dies because he died in real life.
Do you think they filmed the end of that episode though?
Oh, Jesus.
Do you think he ever came back and that? Like, and they were like, oh, this is where we could do it.
I guess I don't know when filming wise did they wrap up that episode?
Well, because I doubt they, because that was
a sitcom
in front of a studio audience.
Yeah.
So I bet they
have an ending and then they just had to rewrite and change it.
And they were just like, fuck.
So I started the show again because it was one of my favorites as a child.
Wait, was that the finale of that season?
I don't know. I haven't got that far yet.
Because what about the rest of the fucking season?
Here's what's weird is I loved this show so much as a kid and I watched it all the time.
Yeah.
So I thought there was a ton of episodes. There is. It's only 2 seasons. It's only 2 seasons.
Okay.
Which is wild to me.
How many episodes?
I think there's a decent amount of episodes in every season, like maybe 20 in every season.
Sure.
So like that's 40 episodes. That's a decent amount.
Yeah.
But there's only 2 seasons. And so I'm pretty sure he dies early on because David Spade comes in and all these people come in, but it's only 2 seasons.
Yeah, but it went from 2002 to 2005. Katie Seagal's the mom in that?
Yeah.
I didn't fucking know that.
That was one of my crushes too as a kid.
I bet.
She's so hot. She's the
Married
voice
with
of
Children, Leela.
Yeah, she's the
Sons
voice
of Anarchy.
Yeah, she's incredible. Yeah, she's the mom in it.
Ooh, redhead girl is hot.
Yeah, redhead girl. It's real.
Amy
Her
Davidson.
name's Carrie in the show, and Rory's the boy.
76 episodes.
76.
It went for 3 years.
Damn. Okay, on Disney Plus, there's only 2 seasons.
I mean, 3 years could be 2 seasons.
Okay, yes. So, and maybe they took a break when he died.
I'm sure. 2002 to 2005. That could be 2 seasons easily.
But what's really weird is, as a kid, I remember watching the show for years, thinking it was such a big show.
Yeah.
And to realize that it's only 2 seasons is wild, because I watch it so much, and so much stuff happens. I haven't got to the part yet. I've just been watching in the background.
Yeah.
Haven't got to the part yet where he dies, but I'm like, oh, this is such a normal sitcom.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I loved it so much, and why as a kid did I like it? Because it was not a kid show.
Because as a kid,
Maybe I just was attracted to the girls. In
that's
it.
fair. So I'm trying to think of my favorite sitcoms as a kid. Friends was
I
a
also
big
really
one.
liked Reba.
I loved Reba.
Reba was an awesome
Reba
sitcom.
was good as fuck.
Yeah, dude. I'm glad you liked it because I always say I like it and people give me shit for it.
No, nobody watched it.
It was an awesome sitcom.
Well, 'cause
it was
also-
also on the country music station, CMT.
Yeah.
Which I don't like country music, but dude, Reba was fantastic.
Yeah.
The guy from fucking Shameless is in it, dude.
No, he's one of my favorite fucking actors from that age.
That show was great. I'm glad you liked it.
It's weird how good it was.
I wonder if I would like it now.
Probably not.
But as a kid, I loved it, dude. And the theme song was by Reba.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. But it's Simple Rules.
Single mom who works 2 jobs.
Yeah. Dude, I kind of want to watch that now.
Me too. I bet that's not on any, or like CMT. It's their own network that nobody's a part of.
Yeah, the CMT streaming.
Because sitcoms, I try to.
Sitcoms are weird, dude.
As a background show, I put on Family Matters. That's the
old school. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the Urkel one, right?
Yeah.
I put that on for a background show, and it is so slow. It's weird. Same with I've tried to watch Full House again. I'm like, I fucking can't.
Isn't it weird though that it's a laugh track, right?
Yeah, and hundreds of episodes because they just keep fucking going.
And it's just kind of like there's not if you that's what's nice. It's a good background show because nothing really happens in the next episode. It doesn't really relate.
And
sometimes it does, but not really.
Do you know what show fucking rips? Kim Possible.
Oh, okay.
Still great because I've been watching. I watched that show when I was working on. In the future, you and I will have we're going to do a D&D session.
Yeah.
So those kind of shows are nice because they do a good story
arc.
I think
You're getting inspired by Kim Possible.
Yes, because it's actiony, it's mystery.
Who's
and
the
it's,
voice of Kim Possible?
The girl, even Stevens, Ray something.
The sister.
I think. Yeah. And she sings the theme song. Fucking great.
She's hot too.
She still is.
That's another show that I started watching on Disney Plus. Even Steven.
Is that good?
It's
the movie's great still.
Oh yeah, the movie's really good. It's It's okay. It's a good background show.
Have
I
you
like
seen
Shia LaBeouf.
Have you seen Beans now?
Yeah. He's a little chubby.
Little dirt ball.
But also, that's kind of what he looked like when he was a kid.
Yeah, no,
You know,
he was
so-
a little dirt ball back then. He just still is. I think
It
he's
is-
like
it
he's
is-
like bald, and I think he's like missing a tooth. And you're like, beans.
It is wild, though, that some people, like when they're kids, you go, oh, you're going to grow up to look like this. But then some people, as kids that look that way, grow up to be like super hot.
Yeah.
Like the chubby dude from Harry Potter.
Sure,
You know,
Neville.
Neville
Yeah.
turned out to be a fucking smoke show.
show.
Like, holy shit. We both had smoke
We
shows.
sure did.
I don't we're getting all over the board. But
Speaking of smoke shows, this has been Moist Monday.
yeah, this is the Moist Monday podcast. We're drinking again, so the episodes are going to be a lot more
Sporadic.
and kind of like the vibe is different.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I like this vibe. This is the podcast vibe.
I think-
Draugust is like, I still like the episodes.
Yeah, I think a couple of the episodes kind of were like, or like one of the episodes was kind of like this, where we were all over the place.
Yeah. Well, sometimes we get excited.
Yeah.
But man,
This is Moist Monday.
this is the Moist Monday podcast. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Thank you for being a part of it. We appreciate you being here. In a few weeks, we will be doing the second annual Power Hour. We're going to record it, and it will be an extra upload on YouTube, and then we'll probably release the audio on the main feed.
Sure. That's
because
always a mess.
It's always a mess, but it's going to be a visual one you're going to want to watch.
Yeah,
we did it
we've-
last year. If
We've
you want to
learned
watch
from
it,
our mistakes.
yep. But we're not going to do that till like the middle of September. I know some people are like,
So it'll probably be released later September.
yeah, but it will be coming. But I'm just so glad to be drinking again. I had an energy drink today. I had some beer. I like when I was sober earlier today. I was like, I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna ease into it, and I think that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I don't need to go
Hard.
Yeah.
You know, like I had a Red Bull because it was in my fridge. I didn't buy one.
Sure.
I just had one, and I was a little tired. But I like if I wake up tomorrow and I'm tired, I'm not gonna get an energy drink. Like I think
Sure.
I think I broke that
For now.
which is nice for
Yeah.
now. But it's so easy to fall back into habits. And I just like, man, taking a sip of beer. I haven't had a High Life yet, and I
Ooh.
can't fucking wait.
Yeah, that will be
because at
fun.
the gas station, all they had were cans.
Yeah,
and I
not
want
the
the
same.
glass
Yep.
bottle
For sure.
So High Life will be in our future. I can't wait. But make sure you follow us on Instagram and TikTok, Moist Monday Podcast. Hey, why don't you follow us on Threads? We have a Threads now.
Sure. Why not?
I think we have 2 followers.
And you're probably both of them.
Yep, I'm probably both of them.
Rate us 5 stars on Spotify and are we
And
on-
other apps.
Yeah,
We're
I
on
think-
Apple, I think. Maybe leave a comment on Spotify. You can do that now.
Sure.
We've gotten one. Send us an email, moistmondaypockets@gmail.com.
Comment
we really
on
appreciate
YouTube.
Yeah, subscribe to us on YouTube so you can see our freaking faces. You can be like, oh, they're not as good as they sound.
No, we got a face for radio.
And a voice for TV. And a voice for silent,
Silent
movies. Oh, man. All
right, bye. We're leaving on that.
We're on the
Bye.
same. Bye. See
Yeah.
you later.
Dry bones, lazy bones, big bones, dance around in your bones.
That was really weird.
But like, I was reading that, I was like, oh shit, you're right.
Yeah, I've never thought about that.
It's 3.
But like every time you go to church, they always mention the 3. There's like prayers about it.
But
it's only one God.
Yep.
Weird. Yeah, because you pray to Jesus or to God.
Right, like you're supposed to talk to Jesus too.
Yeah. You
But
go,
like-
dear God or dear Heavenly Jesus.
Yeah.